screen, put your cover on, put your stop it, like, don't show
Turn your
your,
video off, yeah, your camera.
yeah.
It's just so we can share rehearsals with people who are in different time zones, because we've had people wanting to join from Australia, New Zealand and other countries where it's really hard to get up at 4 a.m. to join us, funnily enough. Although insomnia is obviously something that we all struggle with long COVID from time to time.
Yeah.
I think, speaking about like Australia and other parts of the world, can we imagine that's in the right? So I'm pointing sort of, when I put right for me, it's left for you, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you just for a moment, just point at that corner, that left-hand corner, so that you know where it is. And now just drop your arm. And then could you look up with your head towards that corner? Just in any sort of, make sure that you don't overstretch, just looking up. And then breathing in. And on the out breath, come back to neutral in the middle. Good. And you can now just do that only with the head, so you can release the hands, just have a bit more relaxation there. And then can we do the same thing, looking down to the corner? I think it might be your right hand corner.
It
Breathing in. And on your out breath, return to the screen. Lovely. And let's do the same for the other two corners. So for me, it is my left I'm going to look at, but it could be different for you. Doesn't matter if we're not totally together on this. Breathing in and out, coming back to the middle. Lovely. And then let's go to the last corner. Breathing in. And on the out breath, back to the middle. Lovely. Then we're going to roll our shoulders. Now I'm going to ask you to count to 10 whilst you're rolling backwards, and then count back to 1 whilst you're rolling forward. So we're going to do 2 shoulders at the same time. So breathing in and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then the other way, 10, 9, 8. If you want to go fast, that's fine. I can't think of my words today, sorry. Good, and just shake it out a little bit. Good, wiggle some toes, some fingers. Okay, cool. We're going to go to a breathing exercise. So if we're having the hands, let me just show you the screen. So you don't have to interlace them because that could create a bit of tension. Just have them here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to breathe in when they go up. Then I breathe out when I bring my hands to the screen. Then I breathe in. And when I bring my hands down, I breathe out. So I'll do the pattern again, breathing in. Hands to the screen is breathing out. Gather the breath in and sending it down. So just do this at your own time, because we're all breathing differently. Lovely. Now you can make the movement as small or as big as you want, basically, all depending on how you're feeling. And then just keep on doing this, and maybe try to connect it to how your breath is at the moment. So rather than trying to match your breath with your movement, match the movement with the breath. So maybe your breath is fast, and then your movement will be fast. Or maybe your breath is slow, so then your movement will be slower.
It's hard to stop concentrating on your breathing when you've been concentrating on your breathing.
Yeah. Cool. And then just let it go for a moment, because that's quite a lot of movement. Oh, lovely. Right, so let's think about our face. So we're going to have 2 movements with our face. The first one of the movements is turning it into a really tiny hamster face. So really squeeze your face together. And then it's a big lion face with the hands spread out and your tongue sticking out. So that's it. Lovely. So those 2 faces, and we're going to use to sort of get to know each other a little bit better. Well, I have to think that most of you know each other quite well already. So I'm going to give you 2 words, and you have to decide which one you like more. And so if I give you winter and summer, if you like winter, can you give me a lion face? And if you like summer, can you give me a hamster face? Ah, it's almost quite equal, actually. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sort of in between. Okay, sweet and sour. Sweet is the lion face and sour is the hamster face. And again, pretty even. Thank you. Although I can't see what Fifi's doing. And Maddie. Great. Morning and evening. Morning being the lion face and evening being the hamster face. Morning or evening? Ah, quite a few morning people, actually. Lovely. And the last one, cats or dogs. Cats being the lion face and dogs being the hamster face. Thank you. That's an
Mrs. Dog's going to be offended.
lion face, Krista.
Krista has lovely dogs, and they're going to be very sad to see that.
Oh. And Kat, you were sort of hiding. You don't like either?
Yeah, I don't like either. I don't like animals. And I especially don't like birds.
What happens if you like both equally?
My name in Dutch means blackbird, so.
If you like both equally, Dawn, you have to do half your face hamster and half your face lion.
Cool. So now we take the sweet and the sour one again, and you can choose whichever one you take. Maybe if you had sour before, maybe you want to try a bit of sweet. I don't know if you can choose. So when you have decided which one you take, can you imagine that you eat something sweet or eat something sour, and you start chewing on it? And whilst you're chewing, do a bit of humming at the same time because you like it so much. Mm, 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 mm. Really explore your range. Lovely. And swallow. Cool. I don't know about you, but like I'm probably the same, like when I think about sour, I can feel like my mouth watering. Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? Like how the mind is so strong. Right. Okay, this then gets us ready for our next thing, which is some counting to singing. So the count, Maddie might know this actually, but oh lovely, someone is joining us. We just literally, we count up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Just keep going like that. I go a little bit slower, and then you can just join me first into the talking version of it. So I go 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. I got lost. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. 1. Yeah, so it just keeps going. Sometimes one of the numbers is a bit longer than another one. That's all to do with the tune that we're going to sing this to.
Are we supposed to do this with brain fog?
Well, that's why I'm doing it. Just to clear our brain fog a little bit. If you like, if it's helpful, because with brain fog you never know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the chat. So the tune goes like this, and you might recognize the tune. Hello, Persephone. Do join in. So the tune goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. 1. Does anyone recognize the tune? Excellent. I think because I'm looking at Krista, who looks a bit blank. I didn't know it before, but I think it's quite a famous English sort of. It's quite a famous tune, isn't it? Like a well-known English pop, not a pop song, but did anyone shed light
I
on
couldn't
that?
tell you what the song is actually.
Is
It's
it-
familiar, but I can't remember.
It's like a shanty song or
Yeah.
something, is
Legs
it?
up, brother.
Oh, Knees Up,
Oh,
Mother
Knees
Brown.
Up, Mother Brown.
Brown.
That's right. Yeah,
Which I think must be
it's like an old
London?
music hall song, isn't it?
It's a musical
Yeah.
song.
Mm.
from London, maybe.
Okay, yeah, possibly. Yeah. So I think anyone who doesn't know the tune, have a listen to it and maybe just try to join in, and don't worry if you get anything wrong, it doesn't matter. No one can hear you anyway. That's fine. Yeah, and it's all recorded, so you can just join in later on. Okay, so 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. I think we should stop there because I'm about to get lost. So that's the song. And I think it really, you can do this in your own time. Actually just show it on your hand, or you can even count it like that, which sometimes makes it easier because you've got something visual to keep you connected to the numbers. There's also one with A, B, C, D. So A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, A. See, I'm lost. But we'll do that another time. Let's get the number one sorted first. Great. Okay, I think after this, we might just need a little moment to regain our breath again, and maybe just reflect on what we've just been doing, but that is totally up to you. So I'm just going to give you a minute to maybe feel your feet flat on the floor. I'll just lead you into that minute. And you can either close your eyes or look away from the screen, turn your video off or look down. And just let your thoughts run over maybe what we've just done, or if you'd rather think of something else, you can think of your feet on the floor, or imagine there's maybe a string attached to your head that's sort of keeping you up, attached, not necessarily attached to the ceiling, but something that's sort of gently pulling you up out of your sit bones. I'm just going to be silent for a little bit, just to give you that space. Start to connect to your breath. Notice the breath in and the breath out. And then when you're ready, you can slowly come back to the screen. Okay. And then I just want to go over what we've just done with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not the whole thing, just a bit of it, and just see how you get on with it this time round, now that we had a little sort of moment to let it sink in. So we go 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. we'll stop there. How was it this time round? Did you notice any difference or not at all, which is fine, of course? Anyone wants to share their thoughts? Don't have to, by the way.
I find it easier if I don't think about it and just do it.
I found it easier
Yeah.
second time around.
Yeah, I felt more centered, so I could actually do it. It was a lot easier to do it because I had time to calm down just to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, rather than learning it and then actually doing it, I remembered it more.
Lovely.
It actually helped me do, to visualize more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. That's really, yeah. And I think what Claire said about like sometimes also not overthinking it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just have that little bit of time to process too.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when it's something new, because you're connected, like it's a tune, and you're having to, do the counting as well. Lovely. Okay. So let me just see where I am. Okay, I just want to go back to a song that we did the other day. Who remembers yippee yippee bonny bonny bon, my bonny 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 bon, my bonny yippee you can join in if you want. Yippee or just listen. Bonny bonny bon, my bonny 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 bon, with an action. Yippee other arm. Yippee bonny bonny bon, my bonny 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 bon, my bonny yippee yippee bonny bonny bon, my bonny 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 bon, my bonny yippee yippee bonny bonny bon, my bonny 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 bon, my bonny. Lovely, well done everyone. Great. So again, sometimes it's nice to go back to a tune that you might have heard or had a look at. Either is fine, and then sort of attaching some actions to it. Great. So I want to introduce a new song, and then we'll go to Ben's Wraggle Taggle Gypsies. So this is another Ghanaian song. I just love them because they're just so accessible. It's really great. I just need to get this up on my screen. So what I've done is it's a call and response. But because it's a bit at the moment too much for me to do both the call and the response, I've made it easier for myself. So I recorded the call and I'll show you the response in my singing. So let me see. Okay, let me see if I can share my screen. So this will come up as a, hang on. This is on my GarageBand. Okay, right, so we're in my GarageBand. Can you all see it? Yeah, I know it looks a bit not so beautiful, but this is the most straightforward, easiest way that I can get these things done. Okay, so I'm going to show you how it goes. I think let me see where my lines are. Okay, lovely. Let me see if I can make this a little bit. Oh, hang on. Not going quite.
It looks very technical. I'm very impressed that you know how to use this thing.
I had to do it. I want to move this. Hang on. In the lockdown, Maddie knows all about it. Okay. Right. So here we go. There's a. Oh, great. It just jumped away. Okay, so doing something. Oh, this gives you a little break.
Is it to do with sharing original sound, or is it because it's processing?
No, it's sharing too much. Okay. Oleo, 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 olai, lai, lai, olala, olai, lai, lai, olala, olai, lai, lai, olala, olai, lai, lai, olala, ola, olala, ola, olala, oleo, 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 olai, lai, lai, olala, olai, lai, lai, olala, olai, lai, lai, olala, olai, lai, lai, olala, ola, olala, ola, olala, oleo, 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 olai, lai, lai, olala, olai, lai, lai, olala, olai, lai, lai, olala, olai, lai, lai, olala, ola, olala, olala. So that's the concept of it. I just recorded myself many, many times. So like the song is actually quite short, but it's long because I just recorded myself multiple times. You might have noticed that in the end, it's not really a call and response, because the response goes, oh la la, twice, oh la la, whereas the call is, I can't remember, like only oh la. So you say hola, oh la la, hola, oh la la. So let me just quickly stop sharing, and what I'll do is I'll put the words in the chat. Oh, but the tricky thing is I can't minimize my Zoom screen. Here, when I'm doing this, okay. Control copy. And I want to go in the chat, so it's coming up in the chat. Okay. So let's go through it slowly. So the call would be, so that would be me. Oleo, to high, to low, oleo. And then you would sing back to me, oleo. And now I'll go again, oleo. And you sing back, oleo. And now I'll go, oh, lai, 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 oh, la, la. The response is the same. Oh, lai, 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 oh, la, la. And I'll do that again. Oh, lai, 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 oh, la, la. Oh, lai, 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 oh, la, la. Oh, la. And this is different because you go, oh, la, la. And I go, oh, la. And you go, oh, la, la. Yeah. So, oleo is high to low. And then the oh, lai, 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 oh, la, la. Lie, lie. It almost sounds like lie, like lying down. It's great for cats. Oh, lie, 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 oh, la, la. Oh, lie, lie, lie. Oh, go down the steps. Oh, lie, 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 oh, la, la, oh, low. So there's a pattern there. High, low, and then oh, la, which is my call, which is low. You go, oh, la, la. Mine is oh, la. You go, oh, la, la. So actually all your responses start high and you drop low. Shall we give it a go with me doing the call, but then not singing the response? Are you trying to work out the response by yourself? Well, you can just copy me really with my call. Okay. All right, here I go. Oleo. Oleo. Oh, lai, 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 oh, la, la. Oh, lai, 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 oh, la, la. Oh, la. Oh, la. Brilliant. Okay, now the best thing about this song is that you're going to start layering it with harmonies on the response. I didn't want to do that today just yet, so I think we need to get the response going. But the harmonies are really, really nice. Let me see if I can. No, it's going to take too much time actually to get that up on my screen. But for example, I think the harmony in the response would be. you go, Rodelia. It's really lovely, and there's a lower response underneath that as well. So it'd be great maybe at some stage if we could, I don't know, somehow record you all singing that or something. I do have actually a not necessarily a request, just something I'm going to throw out there for anyone who feels up to it. Who would like to do a live call and response with me? So they have to unmute. It's like, oh, 2 people actually. Oh, 3. Well, shall we have Claire and Dawn? Probably like one after the other. So
Let Dawn go for it. Let Dawn go for it. She's got a better voice than I have.
Well, no pressure on you then, Dawn. So what we'll do is we'll do one round with Dawn, and then if you then can unmute yourself when she's done, Claire, and I'll go straight into you. So it's like it just flows, yeah. And then Dawn, if you can mute yourself. Great. Are we ready? Oh my gosh, it's a live performance. Well done. Okay. Ole-o,
Ole,
ole-o,
oh,
o-lai-lai-le, o-la-la,
oh, la, oh, la, la,
o-lai-lai-le, o-la-la,
oh, la, oh, la, la,
o-la,
oh, la, la,
o-la,
oh, la, la,
ole-o, Claire,
Ole-o,
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 o-lai-lai-le, o-la-la,
o-lai-lai-le, o-la-la,
o-lai-lai-le, o-la-la,
o-lai-lai-le, o-mama,
o-la,
o-la-la,
o-la.
o-la-la.
Bravo! Well done.
We could pass it round the square. So
I was going to say that's such a lovely thing to do, but obviously only if people feel comfortable doing it. I don't want to pressure anyone. There's no, like, literally, I've been in those many situations where I felt like, oh, I'd rather not do that. So it's absolutely fine if you don't feel up to that. So maybe that's something for next week. See who's up for it. Maybe when Maddie has come back from her dark screen.
Maddie, you are welcome to show us your pajamas. Maybe next week you need to put your best pajamas on. Or maybe we all put our pajamas on.
Totally.
That's funny.
I'm actually in bed, so I might as well. They're just at arm's reach.
Cool. Right. So I think it's time for some Wraggle, Taggle, Gypsies. So let me just see if I can get this up the screen.
I think you must have done this last week, did you? When I wasn't there, but when I was in at my parents' or soon to be my village a couple of weeks ago, there was a traveller with their horse-drawn wagon on their way to Appleby Horse Fair. So a real traditional gypsy caravan going through our village.
Oh.
He'd stopped actually while we were driving past, but I don't know if his horse had broken down or what.
Oh dear.
No, I don't think he had. We would have stopped to help if we thought he was in. I think he was just seeing if his horse was okay.
It must be like a sign or something that we should be doing this song. Yeah, so the reason why I chose this song is just because it's got such a lovely story to it. And I thought, you know, with because I think last week some of you shared that you also had some trouble with like focusing. I thought maybe it helps when there's a story that we can sort of dive into and create our own, I don't know, what's the word for it? Can't think of the word, sorry.
Narrative around it. It's funny because our village is so small, there is no shop, but there is a massive castle. And so the gypsy I saw wasn't far from the castle gate.
Oh my goodness.
And actually there is a famous song that was written supposedly by a woman in the castle, which I don't know if you'll know it from not having grown up over here, but Bobby Shafto.
Oh yes.
Bobby Shafto went to see silver buckle at his knee. He'll come back and marry me, bonny Bobby Shafto. So that was apparently sung by a lady in our castle about Bobby Shafto, who lived in a hall up the road.
Oh, that is so interesting. What is this castle called?
It's called Brandsmith Castle. It's a tiny village. It's only one street, but I live in the northeast, and so there are lots of castles from all of the trying to keep the Scots out and vice versa. So I think there's about 4 castles within 20 minutes of my house.
Blimey, they were very determined, weren't they? Cool. Yeah, because I think in the same session, Ben is doing Bobby Shafto. I think just before. Here he is.
Oh, how funny.
Bobby Shafto.
How funny. That's a strange coincidence.
In preparation. Great. Okay. So let me just go through this and just put it on just as a reminder of what the song is.
You follow it along, and ba 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 Okay, let's try it one more time, even slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba 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 ba. Fantastic. Now let's have a look at the first verse. The thing to note that you probably have already spotted is that the first 2 phrases, although they sound very similar, have a very important difference. In the first verse, or the first line, da 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 ba ba, there's that leap. Second time, ba 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 ba, it goes all the way down the scale. So just make sure you've spotted that. So let's think the first couple of bars. 3 gypsies, ready? Or 1, 2, 3 gypsies sat at the castle gate. Excellent. Next line. They sang so high, they sang so low. Everybody, 1, 2. They sang so high, they sang so low. And then the lady sat at a chamber late. Just be careful of the A flats here. Okay, let's sing that together. The lady. 1, 2. The lady sat at a chamber late, and then her heart it melted away as snow. 1, 2. Her heart it melted away as snow. Let's sing from the beginning, please, everybody. 3 gypsies and 3 gypsies sat at the castle gate. They sang so high, they sang so low. The lady sat at a chamber late. Her heart it melted away as snow. Fantastic. It's all the fault of these travelling minstrels. Now you see, over the course of 9 verses, as we are about to discover, because we're going to start.
Right, I'm going to stop him there because we've heard this last week. He's on repeat, really. Okay, let me play to you. I don't have a fancy like orchestra that he has when he plays it later on, but I think my piano playing will do. So let's sing the first verse, second verse, third and fourth, maybe.
Could you go slightly slower, please? Because
yes.
I find him, I can't take my breath.
No, absolutely. Yeah. It's good that you mentioned that. Thank you. I was going to play it slower because he's very fast.
I think the third line in particular was a little bit tricky to get into my brain.
Yeah. So I think we touched on this last week as well, didn't we? That we slowed it down and also just took time for our breath between before each next sentence. So I think we did 3 gypsies sat at the castle gate. They sang so high, they sang so low. The lady sat at her chamber late. Her heart it melted away like snow. How are we finding this tempo? Is that better? Yeah? Okay.
Yes, slightly better, yeah.
Okay, excellent. So shall we have a look at the second verse? So what, I'll just sing through it and you just see how much of it you can already sing with me. And then I'll sing it again in sections. So 1, 2. They sang so sweet, they sang so shrill, that fast the tears began to flow. When she lay down her silken gown, her golden rings and all her show. So I sing one line and you can sing it back. They 2, 3. At first the tears began to flow. I'll do the next line. And she laid down her silken gown. Let's sing it together. And 2, 3. And she laid down her silken gown, her golden rings and all her show. That line again. Her golden rings and all her show. Let's have a little moment of regaining our breath. Perhaps like, where are we for time? Okay, so maybe just put both hands on your tummy or in that area, maybe on your diaphragm, if that's comfortable for you, and just connect breath to where your hands are. So imagine that you're sending the breath down to the hands, and just let go of everything that we've just done. And then on the last out breath, a nice big sigh. And let's try those 2 verses, verse 1 and 2 in that slow tempo, all together with me. This is our starting note. 1, 2, 3. 3 gypsies stood at the castle gate. They sang so high, they sang so low. The lady sit in her chamber late. Her heart it melted away like snow. And then next one. They sang so sweet, they sang so shrill. At first her tears began to flow, and she laid down her silken gown, her golden ring and all her show. I'm out of breath. I think that's a good moment to stop. I shouldn't be singing more.
Yes, not if you run out of puff.
No,
Thank you
this is
so
it. This is
much,
how much I
Meryl.
can give you.
It was great. I loved it.
Stop sharing.
You can imagine travelling minstrels going around playing their lutes.
Absolutely. Shall I stop the recording whilst we go into the chat?
Yes, that's a good idea.